Okay, welcome everyone. This is Claudia Bizarre, Executive Director, and we have Donna Landy, Senior Executive Director with Pampered Chef. And we are partnering up today to bring you guys the new consultant Strong Start and teach you all about this in a couple of videos. So first of all, the importance of the Strong Start, it is highly, very, very important, okay? New consultants are like your babies. They need to be nurtured, they need to be taken care of, and they need to get off to a strong start. So we have the Strong Start system in place to guarantee and make sure that all consultants get off to a strong start. And we know that if we can get them off to a strong start with a couple shows on their books, not only will they qualify in their first 30 days, but they're also going to be more successful and they're going to stay on your team. So I highly recommend you all do these Strong Start calls and start today. And if you have team members that didn't get this, then just reach out to them. Say, hey, I have this new program. I want to help you get back on track and get off to a strong start and test this program, and just do it with them. Now, I highly recommend this. This is a couple phone calls. You would agree to basically do at least 4 phone calls with your new consultant to really allot yourself some time and just do 30-minute calls back to back to back. The more you do them, the more you get used to them, and eventually, guys, you can be able to do these while you're folding your laundry or while you're driving your car. So, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and show you guys how I keep track of this in Evernote. If you are not a digital person, all these files can be printed out, you can put them in a binder, and you can put each new consultant in a little folder. So here you see the Strong Start binder. This is the digital version, is divided up into call number 1, call number 2, call number 3, and call number 4. And then we have 2 subfolders. One is not yet qualified. If you happen to have done all these calls or they're just not getting bookings, then they go in the not yet qualified pile. And then after that, they go in the show-based coaching pile. So just because we did 4 calls with them doesn't mean we stop talking to them, right? We still want to make sure they, we talk to them after every party. Did they get what they need? Was it a successful party? And you want to make sure you take some kind of notes every time you talk to them. I have a subfolder for my team. Again, this can all be done in a paper form. And I have all of my directors team on here, my personal team, my personal people in their 30 days, and personal people in their 90 days. So we always know who can still qualify, who can still earn Pampered Chef dollar, who can earn the fast track bonus. And then I just take little notes in their file. Okay, so we're gonna start. This is Strong Start call number 1. As soon as someone joins your team, the first thing you wanna do is send them a welcome email. You will get an email from Pampered Chef as a director saying, hey, such and such joined your team. The first thing you want to do is share this email with them. Now, in Evernote, you can send an email from here right away, or if you're a paper person, save this in an email in one of your sent emails and just forward it to your new consultants. It has a little welcome video from your director, your executive director, just a couple things that they need to do, and some important files like cooking show training, virtual party training, our team calendar, our Landy training calendar, our YouTube channels, and the coaching times that you're available to talk to them. So that's the first thing they need to do, is get this welcome email. As soon as they get the welcome email, I reach out to them and I just say, hey, congratulations, so excited that you joined Pampered Chef. When can we set up a time? I need about 30 minutes to start your training. And you do want to do this first call within 24 to 48 hours. Obviously, if you maybe don't work on the weekends and they join on a Saturday and you don't work on the weekend, then just set it the next time you are in your office. So, okay, so we're going to show you guys and really walk you through this call, just so you know how easy it really is. Now, Donna's going to pretend to be the consultant, but again, sometimes some consultants, you're able to go through this really step by step and have that perfect consultant that it's like, yes, let's do it. But sometimes you might have consultants that are overwhelmed and you have to scale it back a little bit. So obviously this is an outline, but again, you might have to scale it a little bit depending on your consultant. But the ultimate goal of these Strong Start calls is that we're getting them some shows and we're talking to them on a weekly basis. So, all right, Donna, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to go in consultant training mode. So, oh my God, Donna, I'm so excited you decided to join Pampered Chef, and, welcome to our team. And we're just so thrilled to have you. So, since I don't really know you, because I know Cindy recruited you and I'm here to help Cindy as well, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I work full-time at a bank, and I have two children, 2 and 4, and I'm married, and that's probably about it.
Okay, awesome. Good. So
So,
excited. How old are your kids?
they're 2 and 4.
Oh, busy, busy. I know that
Really
stage.
busy. Yeah.
So tell me, Donna, what was your biggest reason for becoming a Pampered Chef consultant?
So I wanted all those products that she showed. Oh my goodness, I was so excited about them. But it looked like the kit was such a good deal. I really just thought I would give it a try. She made it look easy.
Okay, good. So yeah, the kit is definitely the best deal in the catalog, and we're definitely excited that you decided to, just go for it and jump in. So have you kind of thought about maybe how much money you want to make every month?
No, you know what? I haven't. I mean, any extra money would be nice, but I'm just really excited about these products.
Okay, good. So your kid should arrive any day. And the truth is you're going to make money in this business. So we really want you to kind of just start dreaming what it what it would do to your family if you could just bring in, maybe $300, $400, $500 plus every month. So what do you think you would do if you could earn an extra $400 or $500 a month? What would that do for you and your family?
Wow, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely pay down some bills, and there's a lot of camps coming up this summer for the kids that I actually wasn't sure how we were going to pay for them, so that might be fun, a way to do it.
Okay, so you could pay for those camps for your kids. That would be a good goal to set, right? And get that out of the way and make your kids happy. So how do you think your kids would feel if you're like, hey, camps are on mommy?
That would be awesome. That would be great.
So who would be most proud of you? Do you think your husband would like that if you would be able to help with the bills and get the kids off to camp on your own?
Oh, absolutely. That's always they're just getting to that age where I feel like there's so many more expenses. So yeah, that'd be great.
Good. So it does kind of sound like, I know you work full time, and that probably, it sounds like that kind of covers all the bills. And this could be a way for you to provide some fun things for your family, right?
Well, absolutely. But you know what? I work at a bank, so they they don't pay as that great. I mean, I would certainly, any extra income is always nice to have for the family. We do have quite a bit of credit card bills that I would like to get paid down too.
Good. Yeah, and this is flexible. So, if you have that bill and it shows up and you have no idea how you're going to pay for it, you just book a couple extra shows. So, and yeah, so we're excited to help you get that fun money and, maybe start paying off some debt. And it's, definitely one of the reasons I started is to pay off some debt as well. So we're on our way for sure. So just to let you know, there's basically two ways you can make money in this business, right? So one is obviously by selling. So any product you sell, you get commission on, right? And we like to say kind of like on average, for every $500 you sell, you make $100, right? Pretty simple. And then the other way to make money in this business is to, start sharing this business with others. So maybe, there's someone at the bank working with you that's trying to pay for camp as well. Maybe there's someone that's in the same situation or someone that just loves Pampered Chef. So it's not too early to reach out to those people and offer the opportunity. And you don't have to worry about training them or anything. We will obviously help you. But just so you know, there's two ways to make money. One, by selling any product in our catalog line, and two, by bringing in team members, okay? So what we wanna do today is we just really wanna make sure that we are here to help you get off to a strong start. So did you get a chance to watch the welcome video?
I did. I did.
So did you get that whole airplane analogy in the video?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Right. So we want to make sure we get that airplane off the ground and running. Okay. It's a lot easier to do a couple shows in your first month and get the hang of things. I mean, you are starting a new business, so you need to be able to, learn how to put things on the website. And it's a lot easier if we do that with a couple shows back to back than like one party now and then one party 6 months from now. You're never really going to get that airplane off the ground and get in the swing of things. Okay. So if I had a bag of names of people that wanted to have parties and you could have as many shows as you wanted, whether they're virtual or cooking, how many shows a week would you like to do?
Well, because I work, I probably could only do 1 or 2 a week. I'm thinking,
Okay, perfect.
being away from the kids. Yeah.
Right. And there we do have the cooking shows where you would obviously be away from your family. So you could do that maybe 1 or 2 nights a week. And then if you wanted even more, you could add in some virtual parties that you can do or set up after the kids go to bed as well. So, 1 or 2 shows a week is definitely great. So what we want to do is we want to encourage you to have at least 6 to 8 parties in your first 30 days. And remember the airplane story, right? We want to get that airplane off the ground, and that's going to just align with your income needs like we talked about. So 6 to 8 parties in your first 30 days is probably going to bring you about 600 to $800+ How would that sound?
Wow. Yeah, that would
Right?
sound pretty
Could
good.
pay for those
Yeah.
kids camps,
Sure,
right?
the camps knocked right out.
Right, let's knock it right out and then start paying off those bills, right? And so what we want to do, we want to recommend, in order to not fall short, is we want to plan for those 2 parties a week over the next 3 weeks and set up 6 shows in this training period. And just trust me that I know what needs to be done to help you. We're going to do this together. Obviously, I can't do this for you. I wish I could, but I can. But we're going to be here to help you every step of the way. And we're just so excited to get your business off to a strong start. So what I want to talk to you real quick about is 2 very important dates that you need to put in your calendar if you've not done it yet. And those are our 30 and 90-day end dates. So not only are you going to get your kit, which is awesome, but Pampered Chef even rewards you in your first 90 days of business. So what I want you to write down is those 2 dates. So your first 30 days and April 4th. So write that down. And then your first 90 days and May 30th. We're just going to play. So what that means is you are in a rewards period in your first 90 days. And I want to make sure you understand that. So for every $12.50, for every $1,250 you sell in Pampered Chef in your first 90 days, you're going to earn 100 Pampered Chef dollars. Every $12.50, 100 Pampered Chef dollars. Pampered Chef dollars is basically just like free money in your Pampered Chef account. You can use them for supplies, you can use them for order forms, you can use them for the new products when they come out for 50% off, and you can even use them to register for national conference in August and come party with us and have a good time. And there's no limit. So for every $12.50 you sell in your first 90 days, you get 100 Pampered Chef dollars. Now, when you do that by your first 30-day end date, which is April 4th, when you sell $12.50 by April 4th, now that's like the deadline. We're probably going to do this in 1, maybe 3 parties, so we don't need that long. But just so you know, that's the deadline. You'll still get your 100 Pampered Chef dollars, but you'll also get your sign-on bonus. And because you joined in the month of beep, you get beep. Okay, so our first goal is to get you to sell $12.50 as fast as we can, so you can not only make your money back that you invested in your starter kit, but you can also earn 100 Pampered Chef dollars and you'll earn your sign-on bonus. How does that sound?
Great.
Okay, so that'll be our first goal. Now, you will earn Pampered Chef dollars for selling, but you also earn Pampered Chef dollars for bringing in new team members. So anytime someone joins your team, you're actually able to earn 130 Pampered Chef dollars when they qualify too. So 2 different ways and no limit on how many Pampered Chef dollars you can earn. Okay, so again, start thinking of those people, that might want to join your team. And it's so much fun to bring in a buddy right away. So if you have some friends that you want on your team because they are fun and you want to work with them, it's not too early to reach out to them. So any questions about the 30 or 90-day reward period?
No.
Okay. The other important dates that we want to talk about is I want to make sure, since you're local, that you know our next available local team meeting and our recipe night, which is A and B. And because you're not local, we also have a virtual team meeting that we do on every first Monday of the month. So we want to make sure that you know of those dates, because I would love to introduce you to our team and our new consultants for the month as well. So, okay, so we got the 90-day rewards period covered. You got your training dates on your calendar. So what we want to do now is we want to set you up with some launch parties. And the way we're going to do it, so first of all, have you decided if you're going to be doing cooking in virtual parties, or have you decided to just go one way or the other, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I was really intrigued by the whole virtual party, thing that she'd mentioned. So, but I'm not opposed to doing some cooking parties as well. So
Okay.
yeah, probably both.
Okay, good. And if someone is just a virtual consultant, obviously we're not going to even talk about the cooking show, right? So, okay, so what we want to do is we're going to have 2 launch parties for you. You're going to have one launch party local, where once your kid comes in, right, where you introduce your new business to your local friends and family. And don't be afraid, we will walk you through what to cook, what to say, what games to play, and all that once we have a date, and that'll be one of our training calls as well. So if you look at your next 14 days, do you think you could find a day that would work for you and your friends to have them over and show them your new Pampered Chef products?
Yeah, I was trying to I'm actually looking at 2 different Fridays, maybe the 13th or the 20th.
Okay, so the earlier the better. So what do you think about the 13th? Do you think your friends could make that happen? And you
Yeah,
can make that happen? Like, you have time?
if I push.
And you know what? It is a lot easier for people to know what they're doing next Friday than Friday 2 weeks from now. So give it a try. Let's shoot for March 13th. And then let's start putting some save the date invites out, and we will definitely help you on how to set that all up. So that would be your first launch party. Now what's going to happen is, if you invite a lot of people and that Friday doesn't work for maybe a handful of people, you kind of want to have a backup date in mind. So if you're doing a Friday, I always say maybe a Saturday morning or Saturday night, something back to back. So when those handful of people that can come on a Friday, you can then have like a backup date and say, hey, you know what? There's a couple people that said they can't make Friday night, so I'm going to do like a Saturday brunch too for those people. Would that work better for you? And that would just be like another practice show for you. Your house is already set up. You'll cook the same recipe. Your tools are already out. But that way you get 2 practice shows. How does that sound?
Okay, that's a good idea. I think I might be able to do it. I'll get my husband to take the kids.
Yeah, good. Awesome. So we have our launch date and we have our little backup date. And then what we're going to do as well is have like a virtual party for you. So anyone that can't physically come, that's not local, I will run a virtual launch party for you and teach you the virtual way of parties as well. So I can actually get that started for you tomorrow and run that for my 10 days. And that way you have 2 parties going in right away, in the next couple days.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I recommend for your virtual party, so it's one thing for me to do your virtual party, but it's another, section to train you on it. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to find your first virtual party host right away and say, hey, I just joined Pampered Chef. I'm getting trained on this virtual party, and I would love for you to be my first guinea pig that I can, implement my training on. And what's going to happen is I'm going to run your virtual party starting tomorrow or the day after. You are going to ask your friend to have one simultaneously to your launch. So anything I tell you to do, anything I post, you can just copy and paste and use it on your first party. So not only are you going to get trained, but you can implement the training right away. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, so we want to make sure we go find that person right away. So now we have 3 parties, right? We have 2 launches, and you're going to have your first virtual party host to get the training on that right away. right?
Mhm.
And the awesome thing is that when you have your own parties, when you have your launch parties, you host your own shows. So not only are you going to earn the commission, but you're also going to earn all the hostess rewards. So it's like double dipping, right? So we love, love, love that. And it just gives you more practice. And, you know, some friends that maybe when you ask them about hosting a party and they weren't quite sure, they're probably more likely to book a party with you after they experience how fun a virtual party is or how fun a local cooking party is.
Okay.
Okay. So what we want to do now is just kind of brainstorm who you're going to call if you have not already filled out your launch list. Have you worked on your launch list at all yet?
No, I haven't had any time to get that done.
Okay, so that's fine. So the launch list came in your welcome email, and you're also going to have it in your Recipe to Success booklet, which is a little booklet that comes in your kit. So the launch list is basically just our first, like, you know, 40, 60 people that we're going to reach out to get some parties on your calendar. So I'm just going to give you a couple of ideas. And you can jot down some names as I go through some of these categories that like pop in your head right away. So don't prejudge, just write down some names. We're not prejudging anyone. We're just gonna see how, you know, how many people we can get. So one of the first categories that you can think about is your friends, right? So obviously, you know, maybe your best friend, or it could be an old friend, or maybe someone you know from high school or college, maybe a new friend that you just met last week, or a childhood friends, maybe some friends you rarely see but you are friends with, or maybe friends from different activities you do. Maybe you go to the gym, or maybe you go, you know, to a painting club or bingo, whatever. So that's a category that you can start writing down some names. Do some people pop in your head?
Yeah, I already got 5 on my list.
Okay, good, good, good. So the other category we can talk about is relatives, right? So your closest family members, maybe family members in another state that are not close by, or maybe those family members that you hardly ever see. So think about a couple of those people. Got a couple?
I do.
Okay. The next category would be anyone from work, right? So anyone that you work at the bank with, maybe people that are in the same room with you at the bank, or maybe people in other departments, maybe a previous job that you worked with people, or maybe people you work with in your first job, or some people that come into the bank that you see all the time. Those could be some, you know, people that you can write down too. And then you did say you have kids, so kids is a whole nother category, right? Maybe they go to preschool, maybe they go to gymnastics, maybe, you know, you guys go to church, or maybe you attend a sports club or something. Those are you know, people that you know through your kids that you could write down. And you know what, maybe you might not know their name, because sometimes we just know the kid's mom, right? So this is Haley's mom or whatever, so you can write that down too. And another category would be neighbors. So anyone that lives to your left, anyone that lives to your right, across the street, the lady across the street in the red house that walks a cat in the morning, the, you know, guy behind me that you know, cuts the grass or whatever, or a former neighbor. Maybe you moved and you have some former neighbors that you can reach out to as well. And then the last category would be anyone that you know from your husband or wife, or anyone you know through your significant other. Maybe it's anyone from their work, anyone from their activities, their friends, or their relatives. So you see, as we go through this list, you know, you should hopefully have some people that pop in your head, and that's what's going to be your launch list. And you want to keep adding to the launch list. I mean, just because you wrote down maybe 20, 30 names now doesn't mean that maybe later some other people are going to pop up in your head. So what we want to do now is really identify some people on your list, the first 10 people that we're going to contact to, you know, book some parties. So you can put like little stars next to them, or an A for, you know, yes, those would be my A's. They will definitely have a party for me. And we kind of want to start with those people first, because they'll be more easiest to ask, because you probably know that, oh, you know, it's my mom, she'll say yes. It's my sister and my best friend, she'll do a party for me. So just kind of highlight some of those people. And so what we want to talk about is why some of these people want to have a party. Because the last thing we want to do is say, hey, can you please have a party for me? That's not exciting, right? They don't even know what they're signing up for. So, so who is one of those first 10 people that you think will have a party for you?
Kathy.
So why do you think Kathy would want to host a party?
She lives far away, so she'd have to do a virtual party.
Okay, that's okay. So why do you think she would want to host a virtual party?
She likes to cook. She likes to cook, and I think that she would like some of these products.
Okay, perfect. So that's what you want to think about. You know, do they like to entertain? Do they like to cook? Do they just like free stuff? Or do they just want to help me, right? Maybe they just really want to help you get started and they'll do anything you ask them to do, right?
Yeah.
So how about we talk about some words to help you get those bookings? Do you think that would make you feel a little bit more comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, so some words that I like to use, and I just like to make it personal. So, you know, hey, I'm so excited because I just joined Pampered Chef. Or, hey, I thought of you right away because I just joined Pampered Chef and I know you love to cook and you must see these products and have a virtual party. What do you think? Or, hey, after this call, you might say, hey, I have a really big goal in my first 30 days and I would love for you to be one of my first hosts. Can you grab a handful of friends together and let me hold one of my first practice shows at your house? Or be one of my first virtual guinea pigs. So you see how you want to make it personal. And one of the things I don't like is always the word let me know. So I never like the word let me know. It just kind of, you know, leaves things in limbo. So always try and end it with like an open-ended question like, hey, how does that sound? Can we make it happen? Versus let me know. Okay. So do you think those words will help you ask your friends and family?
Yeah, I always use let me know. I didn't even think about that.
Claudia hates let me know. So delete
So
that
what
out
did
of
you
your
say? Can we make it happen?
Can we make it happen? Or how does that sound?
Okay.
Okay. So what we want to do is when they say yes, obviously we're going to jump up and down and you're going to call me and say, oh my God, I can't believe she said yes. But it's not a booking unless we have a date. Okay. And most people choose more easily when you offer them just simple options, right? So we want to only give them 2 choices at a time. So for example, and first of all, they need to know when you're going to work. So this is your business. So you need to know, you just told me you're a busy lady, right? So you need to know when you're going to work and when you're going to have these cooking shows and when you're going to start and end these virtual parties. So something you can say is, you know, hey, which works better for you, a weeknight or a weekend? Or, hey, I have a Saturday or a Sunday available. Which do you prefer? Right? Or, hey, awesome. I'm so excited you're going to be my first virtual host. My next round of virtual parties start March 15 and I can get you in there. How does that sound? Right? So we want to make sure we have a date with them. Okay? And obviously, as much as we would like everyone to say yes, they're not going to say that. Sometimes you might even get some people that you're like, I know she'll have a party, and she say no. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe she said no. And then the people that you weren't sure about contacting might surprise you. And those are the people that, you know, will say yes. So what you definitely want to say is when people tell you no, you know, just tell them, hey, thank you for your honesty and making me feel comfortable enough to ask. And then you can invite them to your launch parties, to your local or your virtual launch parties, so they can attend one of those. And, you know, when you're calling, again, not everyone's going to say yes. So maybe they'll just say no. They're not, you know, just don't take it personal. They might just say, no, I don't want to vacuum my house, or no, you know, I just had a family emergency or whatever. So just don't take it personal. We have to hear no's in order to get to our yeses. And if you are asking them about cooking shows and they say no, they could still have a virtual party. Maybe they really don't want to vacuum their house and clean up and get their kids situated, but they might be willing to do a virtual party. Okay. So do you feel like in the next 24 to 48 hours, you have some time to make some of these calls and outreaches to your friends and family?
Yeah, I might have a little time after work today.
Okay, perfect. So what we want to do is really want to just block some time aside where, you know, that's my goal, is to get some bookings on my calendar to get my business off to a strong start. So with your local launch and your virtual launch, and then your virtual first host, like your little guinea pig, right? We already have 3 parties. And our goal is definitely 6 to 8. So I'm going to give you a little challenge. Do you like challenges?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. So you know what? I know how much you said you love the products and how much you stand behind Pampered Chef. And obviously I do as well. I wouldn't be here 7 years later, right? So I am willing to invest in you. You know, willing to invest in you and give you our time and help you get off to a strong start. So the challenge for you is going to be when you date 6 shows on your calendar over the next 2 days, 6 shows on your calendar over the next 2 days, I'm going to send you a little door prize pack that you could use for your first couple shows, just little giveaways and goodies. So today is March 2nd. So I'd love for us to talk again in about 48 hours from now. So actually 48 hours from now, same time, would that work for you?
Yeah, it will.
Okay, so we're going to talk again Friday
No,
at the same
Saturday.
time.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you a call, and I'll challenging you to get 6 shows on your calendar and really jumpstart this business. So we talked about on this call, we talked about who we're going to call, we talked about what we're going to say, and when you're going to work. So do you have any other questions or anything else you need from me to be able to make these calls or contacts?
No, I think this was really helpful. Thank
Ready
you.
to jumpstart?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am just so excited you joined. I'm excited we have a game plan set up for you to get those income needs and those goals that we have set for yourself. And honestly, from my experience, it's just the best way to just jumpstart this business over the next couple weeks and get that airplane off the runway. So after this call, I'll send you another follow-up email, and then we'll talk again at Friday at 2 o'clock. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now that our first Strong Start call is over, what happens next is the second email that goes out. So as you see, you should have a binder that says call number 1, and it should have the welcome email, the little script, and then the first email that goes out after the first call. And that just says, thank you for investing in your time. Here's the booking course on Pampered Chef. Take the challenge and book your first couple shows and complete the next 4 steps on getting started in the first 72 hours. And here's the deal, guys. Here's the fast track flyer. Obviously, if they have shows, we can offer the fast track flyer. If they don't have shows, right, we can't offer that to them, really. And then it has the little telling your story. So this was call number 1. Welcome email, the first call within 48 hours of them signing, and then the follow-up email. So here was Consultant Strong Start call number 1.
Yay. I have a question.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Do you want me to stop the recording?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I think this will be helpful because a lot of folks do just have virtual consultants.
Yes.
What would be the biggest difference here? Could you maybe back up and share just the section of how you would coach them as far as virtual?
So if they are all virtual, if they're complete virtual consultants, then they wouldn't have a local launch party. They would have their virtual launch party, and they would find their first virtual party host to piggyback of their launch party and implement that. And then I would just challenge them to go book 4 virtual parties, and they can use the same words, right? So they can still use the words of, hey, I'm so excited because I know you love Pampered Chef. I have a really big goal. Will you be my first virtual party host? And they still need a date. So even with virtual parties, they should think about when are they going to start? When are they going to end? Am I running 1 at a time? Am I going to do 2 at a time? Or am I going to do them back to back as I get started? And when am I going to get them started and date those virtual parties? So just because they're virtual, they still need to be dated. They still need to ask people. They still need shows on their calendar. And obviously, if they don't want to host a virtual party, they can still make sure to invite them to their virtual launch party. So I would probably say that's like the biggest difference, but really not that much difference.
No, that's helpful because I think folks need to realize there really isn't a big difference. The one thing too that I heard you say was that, you're going to run it for them. So you have like a generic virtual launch party that you use for everyone for many months in a row? You don't constantly change it, or tell us what you do there.
No, so two options that you can do. I either use my regular virtual party template. It says nothing about launch or nothing. It's just, you know, there might be a post in there obviously that says, hey, this is blah, blah, blah launch party, but everything else is the same as my regular virtual party. Or however, I did just receive last week a 48-hour virtual launch post my party template if anyone needs that. And it's basically 1 day of pre-party. The next day, 9 p.m. Eastern time, or whatever the time zone is, the event will go live, Facebook Live posts for like 60 minutes, and it's all about launch parties here. You know, you're here to support Bubble's party. And then the next day is post-party and it closes. So what I like about that one is that you can get people active right away. They can make money right away. And they can just be, you know, have some sales in like immediately.
Yeah, and get some bookings right away too. I love that. Yes, we'll have to get that shared. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Very helpful.
So let me stop.